In my previous life, I chose the leopard man, while my cousin got the merman. The leopard man fell deeply in love with my cousin. He watched coldly as I was torn to pieces, then used the crystal earned from my life to curry favor with her. In my last life, I stayed away from the leopard man and chose the merman instead. Little did I know that the merman would also be attracted to my cousin. He conspired with her to drown me, then threw himself into her arms. Now I've been reborn again. Faced with these two beastmen that my mother strongly recommends, I don't want to choose either of them. Just as I'm struggling with how to choose, a black shadow flashes by my side. Overjoyed, I catch it and declare on the spot, I want this one. Then without waiting for anyone's reaction, I quickly form a contract with it. Damn it! As the silver light symbolizing the completed contract flashes, a voice simultaneously echoes in my mind. Contracting with me? Are you trying to die again? My cousin Lily is a year younger than me. She should have chosen her beastman a year later, but she was so favored by the family elders that she persuaded them to let her choose a year early, to choose at the same time as me. Of the two beastmen my mother had carefully selected for me, one would now have to go to my cousin. Arya, just choose whichever one you want, my mother said. That's exactly what I did 2 lives ago. I chose the leopard man, who had the strongest speed and power in the family, while my cousin got the merman. But after contracting with me, the leopard man was always in poor condition. I thought he just needed time to adjust, so I wanted to give him some time. But I never expected that after watching me be torn to pieces by other beastmen, the leopard man would leap up and quickly kill them with a strength I had never seen before. He looked at my corpse without any remorse. The biggest mistake you made was choosing me, making me miss out on Lily. It turned out the leopard man had always liked my cousin, and even resented me for it. So in my last life, after being reborn, I chose the merman without hesitation. The merman had a gentle personality. Surely he couldn't do anything to me. But I never imagined that the merman would also fall in love with Lily. For her sake, the supposedly gentle merman tricked me to the waters where he grew up and conspired with his people to drown me. After my death, he sat by the water, eyes downcast. I'm sorry, but I really like Lily. I like her to the point of madness. This time, I've been reborn again, directly reborn to the moment of choosing a beastman. Right now, the family elders are impatiently urging me. Arya, how long are you going to dawdle? Lily is still waiting behind you. I looked at the fierce-looking leopard man, then glanced at the merman who was secretly looking at Lily, and my head started to ache. I quietly asked my mother if I could not choose. Mother firmly said, no. Arya, are you worried about their strength? These are the ones I personally selected. This leopard man is the most talented genius in history in terms of speed and strength, while the merman is the prince of their clan, with a high chance of becoming the merman king in the future. The situation was urgent, and I had no way to explain to my mother what had happened to me. Arya, just choose. Lily can only have the one you don't pick. Mother's eyes swept around, her words full of intimidation. I know many people in the family look down on me, but they don't have the power to make decisions over me yet. But even though mother said this, I couldn't not choose a beastman. This was a long-standing rule in our magical family. Every member needed to choose a beastman at the contract ceremony. If I just left without following the rules, my mother would definitely be harassed by those old geezers using this as an excuse. But these two beastmen wouldn't stay with me wholeheartedly. As long as they fell in love with Lily, my life would still be in danger. Just as I was struggling with which beastman would be easier to deal with, a black shadow flashed by. Long and thin, extremely fast, no one noticed it except me. A small snake of unknown species that couldn't shapeshift, but with the unique magical fluctuations of a beastman. Overjoyed, I caught it and announced on the spot, I want this one. Then without waiting for anyone's reaction, I quickly formed a contract with it. Damn it! As the silver light symbolizing the completed contract flashed, a voice simultaneously echoed in my mind. Contracting with me? Are you trying to die again? When I opened my eyes, everyone was looking at me with various expressions. Lily couldn't contain her excitement and said loudly, Cousin, after all that fuss, you just chose a little broken snake? An elder shouted in dissatisfaction, Arya, this is the contract ceremony, are you mocking us? I raised my hand to show them the faint silver mark on my wrist. Them, how am I mocking you? Didn't I contract a beastman? Seeing I'm mocking you? The unique imprint symbolizing the contract between our family and beastmen. They finally believed that the little snake in my hand was really a beastman. They reluctantly shut up. Next it was Lily's turn to choose a beastman. Only then did I have time to pick up the little snake in an unnoticed place. Just now you said die again. What did you mean by that? You have the nerve to ask? The snake didn't open its mouth, but its voice sounded directly in my mind. A magnetic, deep male voice, gritting his teeth. My powers have plummeted, and I'm forcibly bound to you, unable to leave a single step. In your last life, and the life before that, you died twice, and I died with you twice. Each time, it was just when I was about to regain my peak power. This time I didn't want to be manipulated by you anymore and was about to leave first. But you actually caught me and contracted with me? I see, so we have such a deep connection. Thinking about how someone had been reborn with me twice, it was quite an amazing feeling. Heh, the little snake laughed dryly. I don't want this kind of connection. From now on, we'll have to fight side by side. You must protect me. I'll be lucky if I don't kill you. I looked towards Lily in the distance, who was looking back and forth between the leopard man and the merman. What do you think? Who will she choose? How would I know? Then in your opinion, who is stronger? The weak snake body twisted in my hand, but his commentary was ruthless. They're both weak. I didn't bother trying to get an answer from the little snake anymore and focused on Lily's situation. But unexpectedly, she turned her head and looked at me. Cousin, who do you think I should choose? With these words, everyone in the scene fell silent, waiting for my answer. Whether Lily followed my advice or not, the one who wasn't chosen would inevitably hate me to the bone. She was using me to draw hatred. I laughed coldly. Why don't you take both, cousin? These two beastmen are both so excellent, I'm sure you'd be willing to split your spirit power for them. Actually, each member of our family could contract more than one beastman. But contracting a beastman required occupying spirit power in the Mind Sea. If one wanted to contract multiple beastmen, they would need to split off a new piece of spirit power from their original Mind Sea for each contract. Spirit power was similar to mental energy. Even a tiny bit of damage would make one feel their soul trembling, extremely painful. Not to mention forcibly splitting the originally whole spirit power into several pieces. Sure enough, as soon as I finished speaking, Lily's face changed. She forcibly suppressed the unwillingness on her face and smiled. I was just joking. Actually, I've already made my choice. She walked towards the taller and stronger leopard man, cut her fingertip, and dripped blood onto his lowered forehead. Silver light appeared, and the contract was formed. The leopard man looked smugly at the dissatisfied merman prince, then knelt on one knee the next second. I am Zack. I will protect you, forever and ever. I sighed, couldn't help but think of the past. He watched indifferently as I stood in front of him, single-handedly resisting the attacks of other beastmen. At that time, he wasn't as devoted as he is now. What a stupid woman, the little snake said venomously. If you couldn't beat them, why didn't you run? And didn't you know he didn't care about you and couldn't wait for you to die? How was I supposed to know then? I angrily retorted. And once we formed a contract, isn't it natural to trust your partner with your back? The little snake fell silent. After a long while, he reluctantly spoke. I'm called Kieran. The contract ceremony was over, and I was about to leave. I wanted to explain to my mother why I didn't choose the beastmen she had prepared for me. But things weren't over yet. The merman's face was pale as he held Lily's hand, giving her a pleading look. You really don't want me? I can use sound attacks. I can make people within a mile drop dead instantly. I can heal, as long as they're not dead. I can save them. Kieran laughed lightly. That's not all he's best at. I asked him what the merman was best at, but he clammed up again. But no matter how the merman begged, Lily still heartlessly let go of his hand. I already have Zack. But you can contract two beastmen, the merman said urgently. Lily shot me a hateful glance, blaming me for reminding the merman of this. How could she bear to go through the pain of splitting her spirit power? She violently shook off the merman's hand, but still had to maintain her gentle and lovable image. I'm sorry, I have enough with just Zack. I was planning to make up a reason to explain to my mother why I didn't choose the beastmen she had prepared for me. After all, rebirth wasn't something that could be explained clearly in a short time. Not to mention being reborn twice. But she said, if there's something difficult to say, then you don't need to explain. No matter what, I believe in my daughter. In 2 rebirths, the only constant was that my mother always believed in me like this. I died inexplicably twice. I can't imagine how painful it was for her. If only for my mother's sake, I had to become stronger. Thinking of this, I looked firmly at Kieran. Now that we've contracted, the next step is to train together. Kieran was still as venomous as ever. You think I need to train with you? An incense stick later, he dragged his limp body and, under my coercion, said the words I'm willing. I bid farewell to my mother and took Kieran with me into the trial spirit realm.